Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Now, let's talk about you. So,
yes, sir.
So, okay, you quit heavy metal.
Mm-hmm. And then I transitioned into, I guess I tried to kind of like do hip hop. I think everybody at that time was doing a hip hop wave. And I got
That's crazy. So people from hip hop try to go to heavy metal, and then people from heavy metal try to go to hip hop for some reason. I think
hip hop is just going back to like a pop punk, like heavy metal kind of sound now. You know, before it was real trapped out, heavy 808s, basses, and, you know, heavy hi-hats and snares. At that time, like 2015, 2016, 2014, 15, and 16, it was a different style. Hip-hop changes so fast, you know.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do something like that. I got a little bit of traction, actually. I played a few shows and, you know, actually was doing pretty well. But
were you rapping or were you just putting
singing.
The beats or what?
I was singing. So I can't say it was like rapping. You know, it's like singing, but to hip-hop beats.
Right, okay.
And then, I don't know. Like, I guess during that time I was really going through a transition period.
Trying to find out what you wanted to do.
Yeah, trying to find out who I was and what I wanted to do. I feel like I'm still figuring out who I am each day, but I think we all are. You know,
it changes, man. So when I was 21, I had no clue what I wanted to do. No clue. I was completely lost, and that's how I ended up joining the Navy, because I needed insurance and a paycheck. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna join the military. I'm going to get structure, number one. Number two, I'm going to get a paycheck. Number three, I'm going to get insurance for my daughter. That's all I care for. And then once I was in the Navy, 2 years in the Navy, I found out I didn't want to be in the Navy anymore. So I had to wait 2 more years until I did my time. But then I went into the oil and gas business as a technician. So I was putting valves together and all that. And I went all the way from that to I was running a business, $120 million a year.
We all know the story.
I was the freaking product line guy, big shot and all that. And then I got laid off, and I started doing real estate full time. But I changed what I wanted to do 3 or 4 times. You see, so it happens to all of us. Like, you get to a certain point and you're like, man, I actually don't want to be doing this anymore. I want to do something else. And then you shift lanes. And so I guess for you went from heavy metal into hip hop, and then you went into.
So I went into hip hop, like, I guess, you know, trying to create music and paint myself as an artist per se. Then I started producing. And then when I started producing, when I started being an artist, I was making my own beats and stuff. Then I started using other people's beats. Then I started making beats for other people, and I got a little bit of traction there. Started working with some bigger artists, you know. Manny Fresh here in Houston, you're familiar with him? Yeah,
Manny Fresh is in Louisiana.
He's in Louisiana? I know he lives here in Houston.
Oh, he lives here?
Because I went to his house and partied here.
I didn't know he lived here.
Yeah, he does. He's got a house here at least.
Yeah. So, he's from the oh man, what is the name of that group? You know, back that ass up. I forgot. Juvenile.
Yeah, that's his jam.
Yeah, Juvenile.
So I was linking up with his assistant. Man, what was his name? He's real popular here, always on the radio. Steve Valdez.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started working with him, with a couple different artists, and then, I don't know, it just, I wasn't fulfilled, for sure. And then I ran into Mike and Charles.
How do you run into Mike and Charles?
You know, I met Miguel Diaz. Shout out Miguel Diaz. That guy changed my life.
Maverick.
Shout
out to Maverick, man.
That is a good dude, man.
Much love to you,
bro.
Maverick.
Like, that guy changed my entire life.
Wow.
I met him at a RIA.
How do you end up at a RIA?
Yeah, I guess I wanted to get involved in real estate, you know. I had started following and, you know, some people that you know, when you first start out, you don't really know who's real and who's fake, you know. Yeah. So I started following in someone's footsteps, and we'll never say any names here, you know, and they were kind of leading me down the wrong path. I ended up at a RIA one time following this person, and then ran into Miguel Diaz at a RIA. And for some reason, we just had this
click.
We just clicked, man. Like, we're both from the gutter, you know, and we just clicked. And man, ever since then, I stayed in contact with him, and he's always like, man, when are you going to quit? And when are you going to go all into real estate, man? And he bothered me for a couple years. Like,
really?
Yeah, really. Like,
What were you doing during those 2 years?
I was working at a restaurant, producing, doing a little of this,
doing a lot of everything, just trying to pay bills.
Just trying to figure out who I was, trying to pay bills, trying to get by, you know, hanging out with the wrong crowd, not going nowhere, you know, and, you know, putting my skills in the trash bin, not using them, you know, you know. And Miguel just kept bugging me, man, get into real estate. And I was like, all right, screw it. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to go into real estate. And at the time, he was with Mike and Charles at the HHS office, at the old office.
Yeah.
So, man, you know, I got a referral from a family member for a deal, and I made one phone call, and I got a deal that popped $40K.
Ooh-wee.
Real story on my first day at HHS.
Wow. That's life-changing money, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you're broke.
Bro, imagine going from like negative, I don't know, God knows what in your bank account.
Yeah.
Freaking big chunk of change in there, man.
Wow.
So, you know, I partnered with Miguel on it, and we made a lot of money together. And I partnered with Mike and Charles on it. We all made a lot of money off that deal. And, you know, I did a couple more deals with Mike and Charles. Man, shout out to Mike and Charles. Those guys changed my life, too.
I love those guys, man. They're my friends. Michael and Charles out of San Antonio.
Man, I can't thank them enough for what
HBHS, guys. We're actually both wearing the colors
right now.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, turn up the hustle. That's Mr. Hustle there, Michael Llanos. You know what? It's funny because with Michael, is the one I talk business all the time. Every time we do deals together, it's me and Michael. But every time we shoot the shit, it's just me and Charles.
Man, Mike's locked in. That boy is locked in.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that boy is about his paper. Man, that's what I like about Mike is he don't play no shit, man. Like he's straight to the point, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they have such a good like working relationship because you know they're two different dynamics that work so well together.
So when did those guys find out that you had those talents to put like video together and create content and do what you do now? So
it was a funny story. We were at an event here in Houston, whole scaling.
Oh, yeah. I know who put that together.
So, yeah, I wonder. So we went to whole scaling, and, man, we went over there clicked up. All of us pulled up, black and gold, you know. You know how we do. And then so the leaders, I guess they went out to go, you know, have a few drinks and mingle with some of the other guys. And it was me, Miguel, a couple others from the team, and Dutch Jackson. You familiar with him?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, we were all...
I invited him to the mastermind.
Yeah?
But he was unresponsive. I think he was sick for a while.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And God, I hope he's all right. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
But that guy's the boy, too. And so I brought my laptop and my speakers and, you know, some audio equipment, and I was like, man, let's cook something up, man. Oh, and I was with my boy, Iran. He was with HBHS for a while, but he had to move back to his hometown.
Where is he out of?
He's out, you know, I don't know exactly. I know it's in between Corpus and San Antonio, but he's back down there doing his thing.
Alice, Texas.
Yeah, Alice.
That's where he's from?
That's where he's at.
I knew exactly.
Yeah.
You said Corpus and San Antonio. Yeah. I picked up Alice right away, dude.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
I'll tell you what, man. I went to Sinton County Jail one time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, right? And this little dude comes in. He's trying to bully me.
Oh, yeah? He's trying to be a big shot?
He's like, you don't know who the fuck you fucking with and this and that. And I'm looking, I was like, I'm not fucking with anybody. I'm just sitting right here, dude. I'm from Alice, Texas. And I looked at him and I said, I'm from Maracaibo, Venezuela. And he looked at me like, what the hell is that? And that's as far as he went.
He got lost.
He's like, he got lost.
He got lost in the sauce.
But that, you know, I know Alice very well because I used to go every time I will commute in between Corpus and San Antonio. The exit for Alice was there, and there was a lot of oil field activity there in Alice as well. So,
yeah,
shout out to Alice, Texas, if you're watching us here.
So, yeah, he went back there and did his thing, but he's a very talented musician and producer as well. So we were all in our Airbnb, and man, we started just cooking up beats, writing songs and whatever, and then we ended up coming up with like a theme little song for HBHS.
Oh, yeah.
And when the guys got back, we showed it back to them, and they were just so stoked, like, that we had made that song about HBHS and how we cooked it up from the bottom up. I guess they didn't realize that we knew
they had all that talent in there.
Yeah, they had no clue, I guess. And, you know, shout out to Frank Tovar. He put a camera in my hand, and the rest is history.
All right, good deal, Frank. So that's how they found out. When did you start actually? Because I know you transitioned from wholesaling into a full-time producer for HBHS now.
Yes.
When did that happen? So number one, guys, this is crazy. He came to do real estate with HBHS.
Yes.
And you did a few deals.
I did a few deals.
You actually did well.
I made some money.
But then you're like, yeah, I don't know about this. I like this producing better. You like taking the videos and you're following around and you're more of a videographer / producer. Yes. Content producer, right?
Yes. So Mike and Charles had a very talented videographer that started their vlogs when they were doing the vlogs.
Okay.
His name was John Mark Lucid. Shout out John Mark. Man, he's an awesome videographer. And I really looked up to him and looked up to his, the way he made his videos. And then he wanted to do more music videos and things like that. So that's what he started doing.
He wanted to follow his passion.
Exactly. So he wanted to follow his passion and do less like real estate stuff. So Mike and Charles came up to me like, hey, you want to start doing the vlogs? We know you've done video and production. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't really have the equipment. And that's when Frank had a camera, and it was like a Nikon DSLR,
$300 camera.
Yeah, it wasn't like the best camera in the world, but it was a camera. And, we had one kit lens, and I was like, all right, like, I'm going to do everything in my power to make the best effing videos with this camera.
Okay.
And so I learned all about it, every aspect of that camera.
Self-taught.
Self-taught. Settings, lighting, everything. So I made I did as best as I could with that camera. Then I saved up my money that, from doing videos with Mike and Charles and some other things, and I bought a Sony camera. And I don't use a lot of equipment, guys. Let's make that clear. I don't use real fancy gear. I don't use real expensive lenses. I use decent stuff that works, but I'm not out here repping Blackmagics and stuff. I'm using like consumer stuff.
Yeah. I'm the guy that uses Blackmagics and Audio Technicas and things like that, right?
So I want to make it clear right off the bat, like, you can have all the fancy gear in the world and make really bad videos.
He made a proof of that because the guy that was before him couldn't figure the shit out. So he figured it out, and now we're producing. We're live here. We got a whole console on the side set up. Blackmagic is pumping video out.
Yeah, we're using the Blackmagic right now. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to work without a kind of equipment. Let's be honest. So Blackmagic is not for everybody. I just happen to own it because a friend of mine bought it, and he didn't know what to do with it. And I said, you know what? I was the one that recommended it to you. I'll buy it from you. And that's exactly how I ended up with that Blackmagic.
That's a nice camera.
It is a nice camera. Then I went to Bradley's studio, and I saw he was using that lens.
Yeah.
And I took a picture, and I said, I'm going to get me the same lens Mr. Bradley has.
It's an Olympus Zoom.
Yep. So
not cheap.